Good morning. I just wanted to take you guys through the garden. I thought it'd be a nice, quiet morning for that. I'm actually going to show you the gardens before I've looked at them after our storm, so we'll see how they look this morning. All right, so I'm going to turn the camera around. All right, so I'm going to take you through each bed of our garden as we walk out. I'll pretend like I'm just walking out. Okay, guys? All right, here we go. Oh, look at this, our first bed. So this bed, we have leeks, one of Jeremy's favorites. Got leeks going on. And lettuce, finally. It's taken me forever this year to grow lettuce. Usually I can grow it like crazy. So this lettuce is a mix. I believe it has some kind of iceberg, romaine, and I believe that looks like a little red leaf, a little bit of red in there. So we have leeks, and we have, what I did was the leeks don't take up too much room. So what I did was I put a lettuce in between just to see if it would work, and it does. And I think it looks awesome. I love the look of it. Would you just look at it? Look at that. So yes, we have leeks and lettuce, and by the time the leeks get big, the lettuce will be all harvested and gone, so they can take up their space. And here's some of our carrots, which are doing crazy amazing, and we thought they weren't going to come up, so I planted more carrots in the, but look at the size of these guys. They're doing fantastic. And I planted baby carrots in between, I planted more carrot seed in between the blank spots that the seeds didn't come up. I'm notorious for that. And over here are our bucket tomatoes, and it looks like since the storm and they got drenched that they're doing fantastic. These have not looked good at all yet, and I've been so nervous. We love our tomatoes. We love to process them and make homemade pasta sauce and salsa and tomato soup. So these are all different varieties, and I'm playing a game this year that I didn't put what they are on the buckets, so we're just gonna see what grows. So the tomatoes are doing fantastic. And which way do we want to go? We'll go this way. And this is our cucumber cage. And do you see that? I see it. Do you see it? Look at, oh, it's not gonna let us look. There's a cucumber right there. Look at that cucumber. I'm gonna go in there. So this is a cage that they're supposed to climb up, and they're actually kind of climbing up it. Last year they climbed and it did fantastic. So let's go in the cucumber cage. Here we go. We're opening the door. We're gonna go see. Ooh. All right, where'd it go? See a couple of cucumbers. I'm so excited. Look. Oh, that's not it. Don't look at that. That's gardener's. Yeah, that's a weed. We don't like talking about those. Look what I already have this season. I'm gonna have to pick that. This looks like not a pickler. So this is like a straight 8 kind of cucumber variety. Oh my gosh. That guy is amazing. And then I saw one over here. I am going to go back and pick that. Looks like Jeremy and I, ooh, don't step there. Looks like Jeremy and I are going to have some cucumbers. This one I might pick because it's a little odd shaped. It looks like it's going to, I don't know, not grow properly, but we also have baby cucumbers. I was worried about the cucumbers, and I still am a little bit. I actually might throw some more seed in because they are very sporadic, and I need to make some pickles this season. Some summers, like I can usually skip a summer without making more pickles because I usually make enough for a couple years. So I think actually today I might throw in a couple cucumber seeds in the greenhouse. Well, there, we found cucumbers. That's fantastic. Shut the door there. So that's our cucumber bed. And then we'll go around. I know, probably took you the long way. I'm trying to do it in order. This is an onion bed. And they're bunching onions, which I've never grown, so we're kind of just gonna see what happens. You can see they're little onions. So as you can tell, they're doing quite well. And these one with the flowers, I actually left the flowers for pollen. They're from last year. They reseeded themselves. We obviously forgot a couple in the bed. They're not really good for too much right now besides the flower, because this is hard now. And our strawberry bed that we are actually rooting, starting some new strawberry plants. That's what the little cups are. And this guy's looking fantastic. That's going to be a really good strawberry plant. And so, oh, you can see the root going down. You see that? I'm going to try to show you with my finger, but I'm pretty sure you can see it. Will it focus again? It's right there. That little white thing. It's rooting itself. This is how you make more strawberry plants from your strawberries. Looks like we have a few strawberries on. That's a good one. We actually have picked a ton of strawberries. Well, I say a ton, but for this bed, we've gotten a good amount. All right, so I'm gonna swing over to the pepper bed because I'm not totally going in order. So this, I can't remember what we planted, chives, and they didn't really come up that great. You can see a few here in this container. So I threw in a cherry tomato, and I'm just gonna let it bush out and drape down over the side and let it live its best life. This is one of my pepper beds. Peppers are struggling, and look at that, Japanese beetle. See these people? They're horrible. They'll take out your whole garden. Okay, so as I was saying, the peppers, we actually put our own compost on them from our compost bin, and I really think it's helped. Jeremy puts grass clippings for nitrogen, and there is a potato. No, that's a tomato. It's a tomato, reseeded. So our pepper plants are actually coming back to life. I'm not sure how they're gonna do. You can see I have a baby. I believe that's a green goddess. So I planted more because that's how I am, and then they all end up surviving and I end up with a crap ton of veggies. All right, now we're gonna go back over here. So we ended with the strawberries. This is one of our this is our potato raised bed. We took some scrap. This was scrap from a carpentry job. And we put it in there, and I made it higher up on the sides, and we put more soil and compost in there. And look at look at the potatoes. They're going insane. Yeah. We did have remay over them. I don't know if probably everyone doesn't know what remay is. It's like, I'll show you. I have a piece in the main garden that I took off the potatoes. The Japanese beetles we found on the potatoes, and so we put remay over them so the bugs wouldn't eat them, and it worked. But then they started blossoming, and we wanted the bees to get the blossoms, so we took the remay off. But if we keep seeing beetles on them, then we're gonna put the remay back. And I know I'm not supposed to, but I know if I dug down there I could get a new potato, but I'm not going there because once we start doing that, we eat too many of them. Okay, so our potato bed is doing fantastic. It's going everywhere. And this is another onion bed. I really want to process some onions. I want to freeze some, and I want to use them in pickles and can them. So these are red onions in this bed, and they're doing quite well. I'm hoping the onions form. They're super small. I think it's the lack of water that we've had. Obviously, we just had a big storm, but you know, it doesn't make up for all the time we didn't have any water. And over here we have a lone bush tomato plant that I threw in. I ran out of space and I just threw stuff in places. I made sure to, if you do want to do that, make sure that you look up companion planting and see what you should plant together. And these are our broccoli plants. This is our broccoli bed this year. And with brassicas like broccoli, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, you're supposed to change the bed every year because they'll take out the same nutrients every year and they won't grow good. I wonder if there's a baby broccoli in here. Don't see one yet, but they're huge. And yeah, they're doing fantastic. This one got broken by the wind or a bug, I'm not sure. So Jeremy like covered it back up. It was limp for weeks and now it's growing again. I almost chucked it into the compost. Jeremy's like, it broke, but I'm just covered it up. So we did that. All right, so we did those beds and those beds. Now over here, it's pretty bad. I try to remember where I plant things. This is a bush tomato plant. It looks a lot different than the other tomato plants. I'm actually super curious to see what happens with it. They call it a bush tomato. I've never grown a bush tomato in my life. These, I want to say they're Brussels sprouts. See, they're going to start forming Brussels sprouts on the bottom. So Brussels sprouts, I have a really hard time growing. These ones are the ones that made it. A lot of them died and shriveled up, so I'm trying. And over here, some more Brussels, and then a cabbage. And the cabbage is doing well. It's gonna have a cabbage in there. It's doing really good. And a couple of random tomatoes. And another cabbage. I'm trying not to get my shadow in the way of showing you guys. So this was cabbage. A bunch of it didn't make it because of bugs, like something, or it might not have been a bug. It could have been a small creature, like just ate them. So I have the survivors that I'm hoping to get a head of cabbage each from. But when all those died, I had extra tomato plants, so I literally threw the tomato plants into this bed. So I'm gonna have to stake them, and I can actually do a video on staking tomatoes. It's not rocket science, but see, what's happening is it's growing sideways, but I'm gonna put a stake up through the middle, and I'm gonna stake all of these so they'll grow straight up and give the cabbage space. I'm also really known for not giving enough space to plants. All right, so we did that. Now I'm going to take you back down here and do the shade garden down here before we do the big garden. We try to grow all our own vegetables for the year. The thing we end up buying are usually peas and corn. Like that's what we end up buying that we're not able to get enough of are on our own. All right. And broccoli. We never grow enough broccoli. So these are the potato towers that we made a video on. People have been asking about them, so I figured I'd show you. They're actually looking really good. I do wish that they had more coming out the sides, but like this guy has a whole huge thing coming out of the side, and they're blossoming. So they're gonna make potatoes. Show you my shadow. The sun's not my friend this morning. So here it is. Potato towers are doing well. It's super cool. Oh, there's our old Jeep over there. All right. So this is the shade garden. I'll kind of step back and give you an overview. It's our firewood in the back, and our wheelers. So this, I threw some peppers in here because they weren't doing good in the other bed. And what I tend to do is if something's not doing well, I'll try it in a different area of the garden, hoping that it will grow good. And these are growing so well, which boggles my mind because they tell you that peppers like sun all the time. And this is the sunny end of the shade bed, but it doesn't get as much sun as over next to the road garden. So it boggles my mind, but maybe it's a learning curve. So these guys are gonna have peppers, you can see. I don't even remember what they are. And these are little peppers that I planted and threw in, that I grew on my own from seed. And then in the back, I threw in some lettuce mix, and it looks like actually I can have enough to put in a sandwich today. And a couple onions from last year, which are super neat. And in the back, there's the rhubarb patch. I really want to move it so we can get more rhubarb, because we love rhubarb squares and pie. And it would be a nice winter treat to have some frozen. And these are little cabbages that I put over here because cabbages do like shade. So I was hoping they would do better over here than the bed that they all didn't make it very well. And they're holding their own. And cabbage you can start late in the season. It's a cold weather plant. So these guys will totally make it. And that's kale. Looks like I have some bugs that have been eating my kale. That's dwarf Siberian kale. It's my first time growing it. I don't know if I'm wild about it. It would be good for a salad mix. Kale is so good for you. It has so many vitamins in it. It's crazy how good it is for you. I put a couple of baby tomatoes in the back just to see if they would survive, and they are. This is kind of my throw some stuff in bed. More tomatoes that I just needed a place for. And then on this end, I'm doing some herbs. I have basil, cilantro, rosemary, and dill. My dill is ready for harvest. Okay, now I'm going to take you to there's our compost bin. It's doing really well. We actually can get dirt out of this end of it. You can see we've been getting compost out, and it's so good to fertilize your plants and gardens. And then some wood chips that we have to use. Just looking behind me, sorry. Okay, so over here, I'm trying to remember, guys, sorry, it's a struggle. Oh, these are pumpkins. I love pumpkins. I don't know what it is about them. So I planted them here so they can literally just vine out and do whatever they want. There's another pumpkin. I haven't been over here. I had to replant. I've had such a hard time this year getting seeds to start. So there's some babies. I believe those are zucchini, the baby zucchinis. And these, I think, I want to say summer squash. Summer squash. I really like summer squash. It looks like everything survived the storm quite well. And these are summer squash. I really want to see a squash on. Oh, there's all kinds of beetles. So got to get rid of them, or I'm not going to have anything. Okay, so I'm back on the other side here. So I planted babies, and look at them. It's only a couple of weeks ago I planted these guys. I like to make zucchini relish, and we love to just fry up zucchini with olive oil. And we like to make zucchini pizzas, which is fantastic. Jeremy makes the best zucchini pizzas. And here's our corn patch. And we had to replant a bunch of corn that didn't come up. I don't know why. Probably had to do with the dry weather. We have been watering though. So here's our corn. It's doing fantastic. I just hope the little guys that we had to replant make it in time. I'm not sure if they will, but we'll find out. So that's our corn. And then we get into where our bean rows. We have two rows of yellow beans and 2 rows of green beans. And Jeremy and I put up this fence to help them from toppling over into each other. We wish we had more of it, because then we could have done these rows and made it easier to find the beans. You can see all the blossoms on them. They're looking really good. Usually I can find a baby bean though. I love finding the baby beans. So yellow and green beans. Oh, I found a baby bean, guys. Ready? Oh, it's so cute. I get excited about this stuff. That's why I garden. Look at the baby bean. Isn't that so cute? And over here, last weekend, this was my project of planting these baby red cabbage that Jeremy got at the greenhouse for free, because at the end of the season we didn't know, but at the greenhouse we go to, they give away plants. And I was like, yeah. Then this row is chard. You can see the difference in sizes. We had a bunch that didn't sprout, so I replanted. Chard is amazing. I don't know, it's not really a common vegetable that a lot of people know about. It's kind of old-fashioned, but it's so good. We boil it like spinach. I actually took night before last. And this is our spinach row here. And I took spinach and chard and put it together and boiled it. And then you can put some vinegar on it. I like vinegar on it. Chard is good in salad. This is rainbow chard, so you'll see the stems. I'll show you. I like growing rainbow chard. Taylor got me growing rainbow chard. He is the chard guy. He can grow amazing chard. So you have the white stem ones, and then we have the ruby. And I want to show you a yellow that looks good. And these are the bean. Baby red cabbages are holding their own. I was worried about them in the rain because I had just planted them last weekend. And there's a yellow stem, sorry. Yellow. So they grow all different colors. Rainbow chard. And these are some more little cabbages that I planted last weekend. I just threw them in. We had space in between these greens, and you can do that in rows of greens because greens don't take up too much space. So you can actually grow a crop right beside a crop, which is pretty neat. I try to think of as much as I can grow in a small space. We actually have a big garden and we feel like we don't have enough room. So next year we'll be making it even bigger. And these are the potatoes in the big garden. They're actually a russet. So I am really excited for russets. They keep well in cold storage. And I love to just throw them in the Instant Pot, actually. That's our newest thing. It's so easy to make baked potato in the Instant Pot. Pressure cooker, if you have one. I think it takes 12 minutes, high pressure. Don't quote me on that, though. You might want to Google it. And then we have cut them open. Jeremy likes butter on his and the skins. I like a little sour cream and a little cheddar cheese. And this is the Rime. It looks sad. I have to, the garden's wet, guys. I have to spread it out today, but here's what it is. I'm trying to find a non-dirty spot, which I'm not gonna find today. It's see-through like material, and you put it over your plants and it keeps the bugs off. I learned about that. Oh, sorry, I lost you for a minute. I learned about Rime at the organic vegetable farm I worked at for a summer. They use it because they're organic, so they don't spray any chemicals, so they use that to keep the bugs off. And this is our tomato section. I'll do an overview here. It's gonna be crazy. We have all different varieties. We have plum, we have beefsteak, we have cherry, we have the bush tomatoes I was speaking of. We really do a lot of Romas so we can make our spaghetti sauce. So that's our tomato area. Well, one of them, but I planted them everywhere. And here's a row of carrots. Like I said in the beginning, our carrot bed wasn't doing well and I was nervous that I wouldn't have enough. I pressure can carrots and they can last a couple years. And we also do some frozen carrots because those are good to go into soups and things that you're gonna cook. So they're doing really, really well. And there are 2 different varieties of carrots in the main bed and then a different variety in the... I just always plant, if I'm going to plant more than one place of a vegetable, I try to do a different variety because if one doesn't work or you're not happy with the way it grew, you have another variety. So that's my motto. And here's our celery. I actually stole some to go into a potato salad last weekend. If you look, you can find... Oh, I'm looking. See? It's like a celery stalk. It's got dirt. Everything's dirty because it rained so hard that the dirt from the ground went up onto the plants. Not as bad with the black cloth, but the celery looked like they got really dirty because they had the dirt right next to them from the carrots. But we're going to have enough celery to hopefully... I use hopefully to process some. I like to just chop it up and throw it in the freezer in a Ziploc freezer bag. And then I steal from it. Like from now on, I'll steal sprigs of celery and put them in our dishes. And they just keep growing all summer until you harvest the whole thing. I just take it a sprig at a time. And here are our beet greens. We've had a few meals out of them. I'm not impressed with this. Is great. Like, this is what I want. This is the beet green I want. They're fantastic. They're looking limp because of the rain. But this, I don't know. I'm not wild about that. So, in this, like, bugs, yeah. So, I mean, they look good. A lot of them look good, but I'm really picky on my beet greens. But they're serving their purpose, and we're going to let some of the beets grow as well. I'm going to go through and thin them out every week. And then we're going to let the beets grow because I need to do pickled beets this year. And then, let's see, our peas. This is our peas. We have 2 different varieties. These are just a regular pea, I think. And they're up at the top of their wire. And we do have baby peas, baby pea pods. You can actually eat them right now if you wanted to, but I want peas. And then these 2 rows are Alaskan peas, which I wanted to try. I just think Alaskan peas sound super cool. And they're doing fantastic. We didn't have peas by the 4th of July like Jeremy likes, but these guys will be ready before we know it. There's all kinds of peas on. And then here's another row of carrots because I was nervous, like I said, about the carrots. So there's another row. And then this is turnip. I couldn't grow turnip this year to save my life. And here's some peppers that he got at the greenhouse last minute, so I threw them in here. This guy came with its own pepper. I don't know how they'll do. I believe they're King of the North peppers, if I remember correctly, and some Green Goddess. And we do have a couple of little turnips that did survive, but I tried to plant turnip all in this row, and yeah, it didn't work out. And this is our radish row. I have to go through today and take the ones that went to seed. And there's a bunch of baby ones that I planted in between, so I got to weed them out and plant some more because we really like to snack on radishes. I did Easter egg radishes. Looks like somebody else took a radish out. But I did Easter egg radishes, which means they're all different colors and varieties. We have white, we have icicle, we have globe, we have pink, we have red. Super fun to grow. Just to have all the different varieties. They're great for salads. They're great to just dip in hummus. So, yeah. I'll show you and kind of back up and kind of show you the big garden. This is how long it is. It's pretty cool. And then over here's our raised beds. There's our greenhouse. So that's the gardens. Excuse my crazy hair today. Just wanted to show them to you and show you how they're coming along. And I hope you guys enjoyed our little tour. But anyway, everyone have a great day. And thanks for watching.